from verse number 65. Manmana bhava madbhaktah madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyante pratijane priyosi me सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न च शुश्रूषवे वाच्यम् न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति य इमं परमं गुह्यम् मद्भक्तेष्वभिधास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यत्य संशयः भगवान taught Arjuna the very essence of the Upanishads and removed him from his confusion. Bhagavan taught him the path of Karma Yoga and explained in detail what is the importance of Karma Yoga, what type of karma we should perform, how we should perform, what happens when we perform in that attitude, what happens if we don't follow the path of Karma Yoga. And detail Bhagavan explained to Arjuna what are the duties of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Then Bhagavan also explained the path of Bhakti. He revealed his nature, he revealed his universal form also, and told Arjuna that you can offer whatever with love to me, I accept. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tad aham bhakti paratam ashnami prayatatma bihi. Then Bhagavan also explained to Arjuna the path of knowledge, the great knowledge by which one can transcend this samsara. And then he also talked about dhyana and sharanagati. And this Bhagavan briefly mentions in this 65th verse, wherein he tells Arjuna, I will tell you now again the essence of what I have taught you. So, manmana bhava mad bhaktaha mad dhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyante pratijane priyosi me, that you are very dear to me. You let your chitta be in me, let the understanding of myself enter deep within you and become part of your that unconscious mind itself. Be devoted to me, offer all your services to me, and finally surrender to me, and you will come to me alone because you are very dear to me. And then Bhagavan again summarizes the whole essence of not only Bhagavad Gita but the entire Upanishads and Vedas, that sarva dharman parityajya. This is in the final state of meditation. You drop all action and all sense of doership and surrender to me, and I will release you from all your sins, and you don't have to grieve. So aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. After teaching Arjuna, Bhagavan is telling about the parampara and the do's and don'ts about this knowledge. He said this should not be given to one who is not ready and fit, one who doesn't have tapas, one who doesn't have devotion to me, one who doesn't listen, and one who finds faults. This knowledge should not be given. And one who gives this knowledge to my devotees, that giving knowledge, sharing this knowledge with my devotees itself is my bhakti, is my para bhakti. Bhakti mai param kritva mameva eshyati asamshayah, and they also will attain me. So this giving pravachan and talking and teaching Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says, is a great bhakti and is my greatest service, and they also will attain my own abode. Further, Bhagavan says, verse number 69, Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakrittamaha nacha me tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi. Bhagavan says that those who share this knowledge, those who teach this knowledge, and to teach first we have to learn, we have to follow, we have to get totally established in this knowledge, and then we can teach it to others also. So Bhagavan says one who teaches this knowledge, that person is very, very dear to me. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschid me priyakrittamaha. There is no one more dear to me than one who shares this knowledge with the world. See, this very clearly Bhagavan has said. Many times people don't appreciate the importance of knowledge, importance of Bhagavad Gita, importance of the words of Bhagavan himself. We don't listen, we don't contemplate on these words, we take it for granted, but it's very, very important. That alone will release us from this samsara. So therefore Bhagavan says there is nobody who has done more dearer work of mine than those who share this knowledge with the world. Our Pujya Gurudev, throughout his life, he went length and breadth not only of this country but all over the world, sharing this wonderful knowledge with everyone, whoever came in contact with him. And by his grace only, we are also listening to this Bhagavad Gita. If Pujya Gurudev was not to go out in the world sharing this knowledge, we wouldn't be sitting here listening to this Gita. So one who shares, Bhagavan says, is very dear to me, and bhavitachana me nachame tasmad anya priyataro bhuvi, and even in future, Bhagavan says, no one will be greater or more dearer to me than this person who imparts this knowledge. And this is what Gurudev used to say, that whatever we learn and whatever we benefit from the scriptures, we should also share it with others. And therefore he started what we call the study groups, Devi groups and various study groups wherein people can sit together and learn. And nowadays we have these online courses and other correspondence courses. So through this learning itself, we can transform ourselves and transform the society also. Because what raises the standard of society is the spiritual understanding which transforms the personality of each and every member of the society. So Bhagavan also, he says, they are very, very dear to me, and it is, we strive so much hard in the world to become dear to some worldly person. And worldly person are never satisfied actually. Even if you do whatever, they will, if they don't consider you dear, they will never consider you dear. Right? But we keep on striving, keep on doing. And once in a while that person says, oh, you are so nice, you are so wonderful, we feel very happy. Instead of wasting our time in worldly people and trying to please them, we should please God only. If we are dear to God, then we are dear to everyone. If we are not dear to God, then we are really not dear to anyone. Because God alone resides in the heart of all beings. Therefore, Bhagavan says, those who share this knowledge with my devotees in this world, they are very dear to me, and they will be dear. There will not be anyone more dear to me even in future. Further, he says, Adheshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoho jnana yadnena tenaham ishtasyamiti me matihe Adheshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoho. Bhagavan says, Adheshyate chaya imam dharmyam, and those who study this, those who listen, and those who study this, adhyan means to study. It's not just listening. See, it is not just one story or something which we are listening and then we can forget about it. This is adhyayan. Adhyayan means it should be understood and put it into our intellect and put it into our memory. And then alone it transforms our whole being. So one who studies this, Adheshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvadamavayoho, this our samvad, our dialogue. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna was confused, sorrowful, dejected, and from that state he heard this dialogue and became free of all his sorrow and confusion. And same will happen with all those who will study this. All our confusions, all our sorrows will disappear from our life. So, Adheshyate chaya imam dharmyam, and this dialogue is dharmyam. Dharmyam is very righteous, it is dharma yukta. See, to what you call, many people they keep talking, there are a lot of dialogues happening. Even on television they keep showing dialogues. But they are not dharmyam, they may not benefit anybody. But here this dialogue of Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna is most beneficial to all those who will study and follow this teaching. So, dharmyam samvadamavayoho jnana yadnena tenaham ishtaha, and Bhagavan says those who will study, I will consider that they have performed jnana yajna. Jnana yajna is worship of Bhagavan in form of knowledge, wherein, as Gurudev used to say, just as we have yajna, we invoke the fire and offer the various ahutis, here we kindle the fire of knowledge, in which the ignorance and confusions and all our lower tendencies get burned. So this is like a great sacrifice or yajna, and this is called jnana yajna. From here only our Pujya Gurudev must have picked up this term, and whenever he used to give his Gita discourses, he used to call it Gita Jnana Yajna. Now it has become very famous, everyone uses it for all talks also. So Jnana Yajna is a very subtle yajna. There are some gross yajnas which one have to pour ahuti and all, but this is something which we have to do in our own mind. So when we listen and when we study, what happens? The fire of knowledge gets kindled within us. It's like fire, and it requires the rubbing. Just as when two woods are rubbed, then the fire gets kindled. Similarly, when we contemplate on what we have heard and what we have read, the fire gets kindled, understanding dawns within our heart, and in that fire, all the negativities as though gets burned. Jnanagni dagda karmanam. Bhagavan previously also he talked that in that Jnanagni, all karmas, all sense of doership and all our vasanas, all of them gets burned. So jnana yajnena tena aham ishtaha. So by them I have been worshipped as by jnana yajna. Thus I will consider iti me matihi. This is my opinion. I will consider that they have worshipped me through jnana yajna. So studying Bhagavad Gita itself is Bhagwan's puja, Bhagwan's worship. Otherwise we may worship Bhagwan with flowers and with water and with other dravya for a long time, but if we don't study what he is saying, then it is totally, it's half only. At home also sometimes parents also, they also say, "Arey, hamare bacche hamari baat nahi sunte hain." But otherwise they are very nice. They keep doing everything for them, but they will not listen to them. Sometimes it happens. Bhagwan also says people keep worshipping me with flowers and all, but they don't listen to me. He says you listen and follow what I am teaching you. Even if you don't do outer worship, doesn't matter. You do this inner worship. If you transform, because when you transform the whole world. When you become a good person, the world also, the goodness of the world also rises. The real service of the world will be in gaining our own state of enlightenment. So, jnana yajnena tenaham ishtaha syam iti me matihi. This is my firm opinion. Further, Bhagwan says, Shraddhavananasuyascha Shrunuyadapi yo naraha Sopi muktas shubhan lokan Prapnuyat punya karmanam Shraddhavananasuyascha Shrunuyadapi yo naraha. There are those who may not study Bhagavad Gita, but they may just listen with faith, with proper attitude. If they just listen, Bhagavan says even then they will benefit, but not as much as one who studies. So he says, Shraddhavan, those who have faith in my words, faith in what I am saying, and with that faith, when they listen, anasuyascha, without having asuya, without finding fault in my teaching, without finding fault in me, when they listen to my teaching, Bhagavan says, Shrunuyadapi, even just listening, like we listen to kathas, we have to just find a nice spot, preferably near a wall or a what you call pillar and all, so that even if by mistake you sleep, you don't fall down. So nice spot we choose and we listen. So Bhagavan says, even if you do like that, yo naraha sopi muktaha, you also will become free from all your impurities, and shubhan lokan prapnuyat, and you will attain that loka, that world which is attained by those who perform punya. Means just by listening to Bhagavad Gita, not studying it, but just listening to it itself is a great punya karma. Some people keep part and all of Bhagavad Gita at home. They just sit there and listen. They don't contemplate on what is said, don't try to understand what is said, don't follow what is said, but just listening itself, Bhagavan says, is also a great punya. So we have to ask ourselves how we have. If we just listen from one ear and go from others, then also Bhagavan says it is punya only. It is punya. It is not totally waste. Because what happens actually, even when we don't pay attention consciously, whatever we listen, it gets recorded in our subconscious and our unconscious mind. That is the beauty of our whole personality, that even a person who is asleep and something is going on, something is taught or some music or something is going on, that also gets registered in that sleeping person also. In fact, even in a child in mother's womb, if the mother listens to Bhagavad Gita, the child also comes to hear about it. The samskar goes into the child. Just as it happened with Prahlad. When he was in his mother's womb, the mother did lot of